Hi there, welcome to BoxPred. Let's discuss this fight that's happening on the weekend. It's a very interesting fight between Carlos Molina and James Kirkland. Now this is actually a semi-final eliminator, and it's scheduled that the winner has to face Vanez Martirosyan for the WBC final eliminator. And as I'm making this video, I really don't know who I'm going to choose for this fight. I'm really torn. I really don't like predicting, trying to make a prediction on the James Kirkland fight, because you really don't know what you're going to get. Either he's going to go in there and knock the guy's block off, or he's going to get stupid and get knocked out himself. Or in this case, he could get outclassed for 12 rounds and lose a points decision. So let's get into it anyway. Let's look at Carlos Molina first. This guy is a very good boxer. I mean, his record really isn't a true reflection of him right now. I mean, a lot of the fights that he, well, all the fights that he lost, I believe, were at lower rounds, so, you know, around like 6 rounders. And anything 10 rounds and above, he hasn't lost a fight. You know, and it does make a difference, I feel, the length of a fight. You know, you've got to have time to, sometimes you need time, and especially earlier in your career, over these shorter round distances, it's far too easy to lose a points decision over, say, 4 or 6 rounds. You know, if you're having a bad night. So yeah, he beat Kermit Cintron last time out over 10 rounds, and you know, Kermit Cintron is a really good boxer. So for Molina to outbox him shows, you know, he has good boxing skills. He also had a, you know, questionable draw with Erislandy Lara, another good Cuban boxer, who and many thought Carlos Molina actually was robbed in that fight. So in this fight, I'm looking for Molina to establish the jab from the off. I mean, his jab has to be established right away. There's no time to work it in. It just has to be there, and that's going to be key. One word for Molina in this fight is jab. Particularly with a fighter like James Kirkland, who really wants to get on the inside and really wants to hit you and slug it out with you and be aggressive. The jab is going to be the pivotal key to this fight for Carlos Molina. So what he does well as well is that he can follow the jab with a straight right, Molina, and I think that this might be a good early tactic for him, because what I'm going to go on to say is that what he needs to do as the fight goes on is to introduce combinations, because Carlos Molina throws really good combinations, I feel, and I think that to begin he needs to be a bit more cautious. So you might want to just throw the one shot, so you might want to give the jab and follow through with a straight right. That can be very effective against a guy like Kirkland. And make no mistake, even though Carlos Molina's KO ratio isn't that good, we saw when Kirkland was stopped, had his loss a couple of fights ago. You know, the guy have to be a particularly hard hitter to get Kirkland out of there. Although he did, you know, in the last fight against Angulo, I am aware that he did take a lot of good shots from a big hitter like Angulo and still stayed in the fight and went on to win. So that's what I'm saying. You don't know what you're going to get with Kirkland. That's exactly my point. Anyway, Molina, start off, establish a jab, introduce the straight right hand afterwards. As the fight goes on, you get a bit more comfortable, and you've kept the distance with the jab. You've set up your timing and everything. You've got into a comfortable place, or a bit more comfortable at least, as comfortable as you can get with a guy like James Kirkland. Then you start introducing the combinations, and start really trying to, you know, rack up those points, and try to start hurting Kirkland. Particularly a good, not when I talk about straight right after the jab, don't just go up top, go for straight right to the body. He does that well, Molina, expecting him to look for those body shots. To slow Kirkland down a bit. That's going to be pivotal as well. Body shots to slow Kirkland down. And really importantly, don't get pulled in. Whatever he does, he mustn't get pulled in. I mean, it didn't take long for him to kind of get pulled into the inside with Kermit Cintron, and you know, if you're going to get pulled in against Kermit Cintron, chances are you're going to get pulled in against James Kirkland, and really, he doesn't want to do that. You don't want to be fighting Kirkland's fight in this one. His fight is outside, Kirkland's fight is inside. He needs to keep it outside. The good thing about Molina is he works for the whole fight. So, you know, if anyone's going to suffer with stamina issues if this fight goes late on, it's going to be Kirkland. And Kirkland really doesn't want this fight to go late, I don't think. because Molina, he can work, like I said, he works for the whole fight. And let me check. Yes, this is a 10 rounder actually, so you know the fight it is a bit shorter, 2 less rounds, but still going up to the 10th round, Molina's going to be working hard. Now Kirkland, on the other hand, obviously has to get past that jab. He wants to get onto the inside. He doesn't want to mess around with this Molina jab. He wants to get inside it. He needs to use head movement, body movement, because Molina can be accurate with his punches. He's accurate with the jab. Needs to get around, duck that jab, get inside. A lot of head movements. And he wants to back Molina up. You know, long story short, he wants to get in there and fire away at Molina. He wants to get at the body, he wants to get at the head, he wants to hit anything that comes in his way. Now in this fight, I was thinking either Kirkland goes in and, you know, in the first half of the fight manages to break down Molina, gets inside and knocks this guy out. You know, TKO or KO, either way stops Molina. There is a chance if the fight went beyond the 5 rounds into the second half of the fight that he could, you know, get a bit of luck and catch Molina late, but I think that's a bit more unlikely for me. For me, it's for Kirkland. For me, it's the first half of the fight, or you know, he's feasting on the bones really. Molina, for me, has a chance early in the fight, like these other guys have, you know, to get Kirkland out of there. If Kirkland is you know, he hasn't got a good defence, and if Molina's accurate and he jabs and he comes with that straight right, he has every chance of just really, you know, hurting Kirkland. And I think whereas Angulo can be a bit wild, and maybe, you know, Angulo, it could have been a different story. Angulo while he is a good finisher, but he's a bit more less accurate with his punches, maybe a bit more wild, and got a bit too excited with Kirkland. I think Molina's a bit more calculated than that, and if he hurts Kirkland, he has, you know, if he's patient, he can come back. Keep your punches accurate, yeah, because Kirkland, once he's hurt, he's going to cover up. Keep your punches accurate, and really make them tell. And, you know, don't give this guy a chance to get back in the fight. I think Molina could do it in the first half of the fight. If it goes into the second half of the fight, and Molina needs, you know, has paced the fight well, going in late, he really does have a good chance of taking the points victory in this one, because I think he's, you know, he's a better technical boxer. If he keeps it on the end of the jab and he keeps his boxing technique intact and he doesn't get pulled in too much, then he can win. You know, he should have the skills to win this by decision. I'm not going to write any possibility off in this fight. Kirkland could win the decision even, you know. We don't really know. I can't, like with a lot of other fights, you can sort of tell this is more possible, far more possible than this. Like, this is definitely something I think is going to happen. With this, I'm really not sure. Oh goodness, now I gotta make a call, haven't I? I am pretty confident it's either going to be an early stoppage victory for Kirkland in the first half of the fight, or Molina's going to take this 10 round decision. You know what, I'm going to go for a Molina 10 round decision in this fight. He's surprised us before. He's the kind of guy who has come out of nowhere and, you know, given these guys trouble. And I think he's going to be conserved enough and cautious enough to be able to take this 10 round decision. Maybe some, you know, tricky parts along the way, but I think he's good enough to survive them. So yeah, I'm going to go for Molina by decision in this one. As you can tell, really interesting fight. Don't know what's going to happen, but I'll definitely be watching with interest, because, you know, both of these guys really have come on the scene now, and really trying to prove who's the top, who is, you know, can move up right up to the upper echelons to fight for these world titles. So I'm going to end the video there, because I'm just going on babbling shit like. So yeah, thanks for watching, and please let me know what you guys think about this fight. I'm out.